All right, next we got 21 Pilots, Lame Boy. This is off Blurry Face, same album that Stressed Out was on. This one was also pretty big, like was on the radio and circulating and shit. But I don't know. I don't know if it reached a level that if you weren't following them that you would hear it. So
I could have.
We'll see. It was definitely big on like festivals and shit. You'll see why, like the nature of the song. But
if it wasn't for this music, I don't know how I would have thought this. Regardless, all these songs I'm hearing are so heartless. Don't trust a perfect person and don't trust a song that's flawless. Honest, there's a few songs on this record that feel common. I'm in constant confrontation with what I want and what is popping in the industry. It seems to me that singles on the radio are currency. My creativity's on the free when I'm playing shows.
Yeah. He's spitting, right? Yeah, I love that. I love his verse on this. Basically saying, if it was up to him, he'd have a tempo change and he'd be changing up the song every other bar because his mind changes and that's what he likes. But, that's not what's going to make it on the radio, So, but he, they tell him to stay in his lane and that he shouldn't be rapping. And he's like, yeah, maybe I'm not from the hood, but I do know one or two things about pain and darkness. Yeah. So, yeah.
I like that bar for sure. But the way he was rapping just now,
yeah. Don't trust a perfect person and don't trust a song that's flawless. What we were just talking about, like AI.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, I think he's specifically talking about like songs on the radio, like the auto tune, the perfectly crafted, like perfect song. And he's like, don't trust that.
Was he in like a rebellious era
with this song or with this album?
Yeah.
I mean, he's always in a punk phase. I feel like that's what he's always about, But like, Blurry Face, yeah, it's a little bit darker. It's just about like the last one was like, wake up, you need to make money. Yeah, like that whole shit was Stressed Out. Like it was kind of like, fuck the system and like I just want to be a kid again. Now I have to work and whatever. But yeah, so that's that.
Lane boy, we go where we want to. They think this thing is a highway, but will they be alive tomorrow? They be alive tomorrow. I'm sorry if that question I asked last scared you a bit like a hazmat in a gas mask. If you ask Zach, he's my brother, he likes when I rap fast. But let's backtrack, back to this. Who would you live in that for on that list? But the problem is, there's another list that exists and no one really wants to think about this. Forget sanity, forget salary, forget vanity, my morality. If you get in between someone I live with me, you're gonna feel the heat of my cavalry. All these songs I'm hearing are so heartless. Don't trust a perfect person and don't trust a song that's flawless. They say stay in your lane, boy, and we go where we want to. They think this thing is a highway, but will they be alive tomorrow? They say stay in your lane, boy, and we go where we want to. They think this thing is a highway, but will they be alive tomorrow?
I like
What?
the message
Yeah.
on the guys that's wearing the hazmat and
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like fame, success.
Yeah. Yeah. Toxic.
Yeah,
With a gas
how it's
mask.
like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They say you're lame boy, lame boy. We go where we want to. They think this thing is a highway, highway. Will they be like tomorrow? They say stay in your lane boy, lane boy. We go where we want to. They think this thing is a highway, highway. Will they be like tomorrow?
They definitely had a thing for like recording music videos at their live shows
Yeah.
back then.
There's more to the song, but yeah, I guess whatever. Same thing. But they ended there. 'Cause it goes back to like the drop a little bit, but it's not as like intense, but like in the album version. But yeah, no, I love that song. And when he goes back to that question that I asked last, scared you a bit like a hazmat and the gas mask. If you asked that by the election ref has, who is it? And the album, the song before this song on the album, he says essentially like, who would you take a bullet for, you know? And like in theory we say, oh yeah, I would die for my family, but it's like, would you really, you know? Like that thought like came up in his head, like who would I actually die for, you know? Like, so that's what he was bringing up there in that second verse. He was just saying like, back to that question that I asked in the last song, like I bet it scared you like a hazmat and the gas mask, whatever. Like he was just like riffing off that. So, yeah, Lame Boy.
I like it.
Yeah,
a lot. I like their older music, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's so much to go through. We haven't really got into Trench. We haven't got into Trench at all, actually. So I love Trench. But yeah, Blurryface is amazing. So